and welcome back to A Better World. This is your host, Mitchell J. Rabin, and I'm very glad you're joining us again today. Well, that's the opening line I've been using for 18 years. Is that possible? Since March of 1993, I have been on the air on community public access television here in Manhattan, in New York City, consistently every single week. And we had a glitch here, a glitch there, technically. But in general, every single week, without fail, we have had a new show talking about subjects that are just very dear to my heart. Health and healing, the environment, spirituality, consciousness, human potential, and speaking with the sung and the unsung heroes of society, seeing their points of view. In this very chair, I have had illustrious luminaries from all walks of life, from all parts of the world, really. I have had spiritual teachers here from India who hardly even knew how to speak English, or who have never actually ever been on TV or in front of a video camera. I have had environmentalists, scientists, healers of all sorts, spiritual teachers, as I said. I have had well-known people such as Wayne Dyer, Edgar Mitchell, the astronaut, one of the first to walk on the moon, Dan Millman, well-known for Way of a Peaceful Warrior and about a dozen other books. On and on it goes, and I've been having a ball over all of these years, being of service and helping to illuminate, elevate, educate, and ultimately, hopefully, inspire people to be active participants in helping to create a better world. So in these few minutes, you're going to see a few episodes, well, just pieces of episodes that have been filmed over the course of these years, about which we are celebrating tonight. So thanks so much for coming. I so appreciate it, and I look forward to seeing you all next week. Welcome back to A Better World. This is your host, Mitchell J. Rabin, and today we're going to have a very interesting show yet again. We have Bruce Lipton on, Dr. Bruce Lipton, who is a PhD in cellular biology and is a former professor at University of Wisconsin. He'll be speaking. So welcome.
Thank you, Mitch.
A pleasure to have you, Bruce.
And the cell membrane are analogous structures. So to the cell, the skin of the cell is this membrane. Mm-hmm. It turns out that the cell membrane is the site of consciousness transduction.
Hello, Bruce.
Mitch, thank you very much for another opportunity.
Absolutely, absolutely. This word needs to be out. I'm sorry that it took us 10 years to reconvene, but
well, it's been an exciting 10 years because the science we talked about 10 years ago is now becoming mainstream understanding. So the population is ready for this now.
Exactly.
This is great.
Exactly. We were sort of seeding the world back then, and now things are beginning to be ready for harvest.
It comes in the word kra, which is the first time that the kaf is used in the Bible, which means to call something something. Wow. So when you label something, you really give it reality, and this is what God did in order to make the universe, label things. Very important sound.
Why did I know? I know very little Hebrew, but when you said kaf, there was something about the way you said it that I said call inside myself.
Yeah.
I don't even know that that's the case.
Yeah, it's also a kopf, which is, if you look at Magritte's paintings, the back of the head, particularly the occipital region of the brain, that area. So there's many mystical insights that came to the early Kabbalists in terms of what these symbols meant, which are reflective today of our ways of thinking now.
I mean, we can't always start at the top, even though we'd like to. Like the American way is to be the best and the greatest, and we want the ultimate teachings and the high tantric teachings.
Right. Before laying the groundwork.
Right.
As an example.
Right. And so there's a lot of spiritual disasters that take place. because there's no groundedness. There's nothing built to hold the energy.
Right.
So it ends up too much, and people go crazy. They can't hold it.
Right.
And there's a lot
And
of
abandon ship.
right. And they throw it all out, and then they go off and just surrender into the world of business or whatever, and forget any connection with spiritual ideals.
This is a Douglas fir that was planted in February of 1997 in this entire area. And there's a very healthy growth, very healthy tree. We're about half of that side. This is the new growth at the top.
How long will that take to become?
A mature trees.
Yes.
This will be a mature tree of about this size in 75 years. This size in 150 years.
And when will be the next time they decide to harvest it?
An incredible place here. It's like a little paradise of itself, hence the name.
Yes.
And it's a great getaway from New York, huh?
That's why I did it. You're
Yeah.
listening to the macaws in the background. I have peacocks and macaws, cockatoos, cockatiels, different birds. And when you live in a very intense environment, and New York is intense, and you adapt to it. If you have a small apartment, you adapt to it. If you live in an environment where you have to be concerned about where you're walking at night, you adapt to it. Your senses adapt to it. So I wanted a place where there was no need for adaptation, where I could simply be at peace at all times, completely calm at all times. And most importantly, for myself and for people like myself who are always creating, to be able to rejuvenate. And hence all that we see here, which is designed to enhance rejuvenation.
And I've worked now in 100 countries and intensely in 40 cultures. And I work with the United Nations and other international agencies.
And what are you doing? What is the real interface between you and the United Nations at this
Well,
point?
what
Because
I'm
I know
doing,
you're
yeah.
underdeveloped countries.
Well, working with the United Nations Development Program, with UNICEF, and now with UN Habitat, we are training leaders in their own development in the light of social change. Now, it isn't just one-on-one, it's often great groups of leaders, as for example, we've worked in Albania, in Kenya, the delegations from Uganda and Tanzania, the Philippines, the Eastern Caribbean, Nepal, and now very recently, several months ago, with leaders from 12 Asian countries.